In last lesson's video, we had an overview of the different acid and base reactions. This video will be on neutralization reactions in everyday life and in the industrial processes. So the first thing that we're going to be talking about is neutralization in agriculture. Now, the pH of soil in which the plants are grown on requires a very specific range, and otherwise this would negatively impact soil growth. One example of this is if the soil is too acidic, then what we're going to do is we're going to add powdered lime, CaO, or limestone, CaCO3, into the soil to neutralize the H+ ions and increase the pH. Now, if the soil is too basic, what we can do is we can add rotting vegetables or leaves, and this is going to compost and decompose to release carbon dioxide gas, and then that is going to be acidic in nature. Now, when we're talking about neutralization in the industry, the burning of fossil fuels often releases sulfur dioxide, SO2, and this can form acid rain in the form of H2SO4 when it reacts with water. So in order for us to prevent the air pollution and the onset of acid rain, what we can do is we can also use lime and limestone, CaO and CaCO3. We talked about the same process with neutralization in agriculture, and we can use that to neutralize gases that are released. So for neutralization in medicine, we can find antacid tablets, and these contain aluminium hydroxide, so AlOH3, or magnesium hydroxide, MgOH2, and they're used for the treatment of gastric patients by neutralizing the excessive acid in their stomach. And gastric acid is usually made of HCl, hydrochloric acid. Vinegar is another common remedy that we can use for the treatment of wasp and jellyfish stings, and that's because in nature the toxins are alkaline. So we can talk about neutralization at home, and an example of this is baking powder, and that actually contains sodium hydrogen carbonate, NaHCO3. That's also what we call bicarbonate of soda if you didn't recognize that. And this sodium hydrogen carbonate is a weak acid. So when we add water to the mixture of baking soda, we know that there's a chemical reaction that forms between the weak acid and the hydrogen carbonate to produce carbon dioxide, which causes the cake to rise. And as we talked about before in the previous lesson, if we react carbonate, CO3, with an acid, it will release CO2. Toothpaste is another thing that's alkaline, and basically it's used to help prevent the acidity of decaying food particles in our teeth, which will cause teeth decay. This is a very similar concept to the neutralization in agriculture, where if the soil is too basic, we're going to add rotting vegetables or leaves because they're going to release carbon dioxide, which is acidic.